Xalapa, English, ELP, officially Xalapa-Enríquez, is the capital city of the Mexican state of Veracruz and the name of the surrounding municipality. In the 2005 census, the city reported a population of 387,879 and the municipality of which it serves as municipal seat reported a population of 413,136. The municipality has an area of 118.45 square kilometers. Xalapa lies near the geographic center of the state and is the second largest city in the state after the city of Veracruz to the southeast. Etymology: the name Xalapa comes from the Nahuatl roots Xali, sand, and Apan, water place, which approximately means spring in the sand. Quote, "It is classically pronounced in Nahuatl, though the final N is often omitted. The sound was written X in the 16th century. This does not occur in modern Spanish, and its counterpart is the A sound, normally written J. The spelling Xalapa reflects the archaic pronunciation. Xalapa is pronounced or, the latter pronunciation used mostly in dialects of southern Mexico, the Caribbean, much of Central America, some places in South America, and the Canary Islands and western Andalusia in Spain, where it has become a voiceless glottal fricative. The full name of the city is Xalapa-Enríquez, named in honor of 19th-century Governor Juan de las Enríquez. The city's nickname, La Ciudad de las Flores, was bestowed by Alexander von Humboldt, who visited the town on the 10th of February 1804. The reference is also related to the city's earlier colonial history. In folklore, the Spaniards believed that Xalapa was the birthplace and home of the Florecita, which literally means little flower. Residents of Xalapa are called Xalapeños or Jalapeños, which is the name given to the popular long peppers cultivated in this area. History: the Totonacs were the first people to establish themselves around the Micheltepetl, fifth mountain in Nahuatl language. This mountain, an extinct volcano, received its name after the Aztecs used it as the fifth reference mountain to get to the Gulf of Mexico's shores. Today it is preserved within a park. During the 14th century, 4 cultures of indigenous peoples settled in the territory today known as Xalapa. Each of them built a small village. Xalatic was founded by the Totonaques. Tecacapa was founded by the Chichimecas. In the northeast, Tecuanapan was founded by the Toltecas, and Tlalnakapan was founded by the Teochichimecas. Eventually, around 1313, the 4 villages grew and joined, forming one big village which was given the name Xalapan. Moctezuma Iluikamana, the 5th Aztec emperor, invaded the territory during the second half of the 15th century. All the land was ruled as part of the Aztec Empire before the arrival and conquest of the Spanish conquistadors. In 1519, Hernán Cortés passed through Xalapa en route to Tenochtitlan. In 1555, Spanish Franciscans completed construction of a convent, the second most important event in that time in Nueva España. When the Spanish arrived, Xalapa was barely populated. The population rose after the conquest and colonial settlement. When the Spanish improved the Mexico-Orizaba-Veracruz route, Xalapa declined in importance as a transport hub, with its population stagnating during the 17th century. From 1720, Xalapa became increasingly important, due to trade with numerous retailers of the New Spain arriving to sell products and byproducts cultivated and made in the peninsula. At this time, numerous resident Spanish families in the near towns settled in Xalapa, so that by 1760 the population had increased to over 1,000 inhabitants, including Mestizo and Spanish. The growth of Xalapa in population, culture, commerce and importance increased dramatically dramatically in the 18th century. Responding to residents' requests, Carlos IV of Spain elevated the status of Xalapa to a town on the 18th of December 1791. In 1772, the construction of Xalapa Cathedral began. On the 18th of May 1784, José María Alfaro lifted the first air balloon in the Americas, in Xalapa. Due to the abundance of flowers growing in the region, Alexander von Humboldt, who visited the town on the 10th of February 1804, christened the town as the City of the Flowers. Since the beginning of the 19th century, Xalapa was the scene of some important historical events, and it supported the movement for independence from Spain. Ideas greatly flowed in the town, and Xalapa was represented by many who put forward these ideas to those in Mexico City in government meetings. On the 20th of May 1821, shortly before completing Mexican independence on the 27th of September of the same year, Xalapa was attacked by the forces of Don Antonio López de Santa Anna. Together with Don Joaquín Log, he forced Spanish Captain Juan Obregaso to surrender the town. Independence was gained months later. The first Emperor Agustín de Iturbide was not warmly received in Xalapa due to past differences. On the 9th of May 1824, by decree of the President of the Republic Don Guadalupe Victoria, the first legislature of the state of Veracruz was established in Xalapa. That same year, Xalapa was declared the state capital. In the 1820s, Xalapa and the surrounding area was subject to a revolt when Vicente Guerrero replaced General Anastasio Bustamante. Veracruz was attacked by Isidro Barradas, who was attempting to reconquer parts of Mexico, and over 3,000 were deployed to defend the cities of Veracruz, Córdoba and Orizaba for military purposes. Anastasio Bustamante, betraying the confidence given to him, revolted against the legitimate government with a new plan of Xalapa, signed on the 4th of December 1829. The revolt was subdued. On the 29th of November 1830 by decree, Xalapa was elevated to the class of city. On 1843, Don Antonio María de Rivera founded the Normal School of Xalapa to train teachers. Today it operates as a preparatory school for students going to college. During the United States invasion of the Mexican-American War, in 1847 General Don Antonio López de Santa Anna attempted to defeat the opposing forces at a site near Xalapa in the Battle of Cerro Gordo. He led an army of more than 12,000 soldiers. Mexican troops suffered many casualties. Around 1,000 were killed and 3,000 wounded on the 18th of April 1847. The U.S. invaders occupied the city the following day. Among them was Lt. Ulysses S. Grant, later commanding general of the Union armies in the American Civil War. Grant's letters called Xalapa decidedly the most beautiful place I ever saw in my life, its climate the best in the world. Quote, Xalapinos such as Ambrosio Alcalde and Antonio Garcia fought bravely to defend the city of Veracruz, but were taken prisoner by the enemy. They were released and paroled, but after rejoining the fighting against the U.S., they were recaptured near Tieselo. They were taken to Xalapa and sentenced to death, executed on the 24th of November 1847. Today these two men are remembered as martyrs. An obelisk monument commemorates the sacrifice, standing between San Jose Church and Alcalde Market, which was named after Ambrosio Alcalde. The U.S. forces, after marching on to capture Mexico City, departed after the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. In November 1862, Xalapa was attacked. During the French invasion, the foreigners temporarily took control of the state capital. On the 27th of November 1867, the corpse of the Emperor Maximilian I of Mexico, who had been executed in Querétaro, arrived at Xalapa. It was held in the neighborhood of San Jose and attended to by the priest José María Huidaza, before being transferred to Veracruz the following day. The emperor's remains were shipped back to Austria to be buried. In 1885, General Xalapa-Enríquez increased the power of Xalapa by moving some legislative authority from Orizaba to Xalapa, in accordance with the decree issued in June 1884 by the provisional governor José Manuel Jauregui. General Enríquez, together with the Swiss teacher Enrique C. Rabeserman, in 1886 founded the Normal School in Xalapa, the first school of this type in the country. Enríquez died in 1892, but the construction of Normal School and founding of other schools led to Xalapa becoming known for its centers of learning as the Athens of Veracruz. During the regime of Enríquez, the old convent of San Francisco was demolished, and the area developed as the Parque Juárez. In June 1890, railroad construction brought the first locomotive for the Xalapa-Cotepec-Tiacelo Railroad to the city. The Interoceanic Railroad was completed in Veracruz in 1901. The public lighting system was introduced in 1904. In 1906, a clock was installed in the center of the city on a building on Enríquez Street, which now houses the National Lottery Agency. On the 18th of May 1911, Francisco I. Madero visited Xalapa. On the 21st of June of the same year, a minor conflict occurred between federal forces and revolutionaries. On the 3rd of January 1920, a strong earthquake rattled the city, destroying several buildings. Years later, in December 1923, Xalapa fell into the power of the Huertistas, commanded by Guadalupe Sanchez. In 1940, the water building and agricultural house were constructed, which today is occupied by the Agrarian League of Communities and Union Farmers of the state. On the 11th of September 1944, the Universidad de Veracruzana was established, and Dr. Manuel Suarez became the first director. On the 4th of September 1978, by means of Decree No. 325, the local legislature approved that the official name of the city Xalapa-Enríquez should be written with AX rather than HA, to emphasize its derivation from Nahuatl. Xalapa is a thriving center for commerce, and many multinational companies have large retail stores and franchise restaurants in the city. These include Walmart, Superama, Sam's Club, The Home Depot, Liverpool, Sears, Costco, Office Depot, Office Max, Oxxo, Sanborns, Commercial Mexicana, C&M, Fábricas de Francia, Coppel, Garcia, Milano, Burger King, McDonald's, Domino's Pizza, Pizza Hut, Subway, Starbucks, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Little Caesars, Blockbuster, Hugo Boss, Pull&Bear and Carl's Jr., Prada, Taos, etc. Xalapa also has a number of cinemas, some of them of substantial size, such as the Cinépolis Museum, Cinépolis the Americas, and other cinemas, such as Extreme Cinemas in Crystal and Cineshix in Plaza Animas, which is a local movie theater. There are also several retail malls in Xalapa: Plaza Crystal, Plaza Museo, Plaza Animas, Plaza Enríquez, and Plaza Los Arcos. Many people in Xalapa are employed by the government, since it is the state capital. Xalapa is also the head one of the 5 regional sections of the Tribunal Electoral. This area encompasses 7 states: Campeche, Chiapas, Oaxaca, Quintana Roo, Tabasco, Veracruz and Yucatán. The other regional seats are Mexico City, Toluca, Monterrey and Guadalajara. Culture. Xalapa is known as the Athens of Veracruz because of the strong cultural influence of its major university, Universidad Veracruzana. General Enríquez is known for policies encouraging the educational system in Xalapa. Culturally, Xalapa has a wide variety of events associated with its theaters, museums, and street art. Many musicians and dancers frequently perform in the center in the nights, especially on special occasions and events of celebration or commemoration. They often dance the fandango. Art has a keen following in Xalapa. The gallery, Pinacoteca Diego Rivera, located near the City Hall and Park Juarez in downtown, has the most numerous collection of Diego Rivera's paintings in all of Mexico. Holidays. Feast Day of San Jose, Feast of Santiago Apostle, Feast of the Immaculate Heart of Jesus, Conception of Maria, and Expo Fair International are all celebrated in the city. An important religious holiday is on the 8th of December, the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, celebrating Mary, the Mother of God, patroness of the city. On the 24th of October, San Rafael Guizar and Valencia are celebrated, with thousands of people from all over Mexico visiting the tomb that is in a chapel within the cathedral. The cathedral remains open all night and day during this event. Cuisine. Xalapa is the place of origin of the famous jalapeno peppers. Dishes made with maize, gorditas, tostadas, pasties, enfrijoladas, and chicken are common. The desserts that are consumed in the region are typically sweet such as cake and cocodas and craft candies like candied fruit, dulce de leche and jamoncilla. Music. Xalapa is home to numerous classical music orchestras and bands. The Orquesta Sinfónica de Xalapa is the most prominent, formed on the 21st of August 1929. Other orchestras include the Orquesta Municipal de Xalapa, Banda Sinfónica del Estado, Orquesta de Música Popular de la UV, Orquesta de Salsa de la UV, Orquesta de Guitarras de Xalapa, TLEN Huicani, and Orquesta Sinfónica Juvenil del Estado, which is the youth symphony orchestra for Veracruz State. San Geriacho also thrives, including noted groups under Madera. Notable city landmarks. The Xalapa Cathedral is a mix of Baroque and Neo-Gothic design built in 1773. It has a clock tower, the clock coming from England. Callejón Diamante is one of the more crowded streets at night because of its bohemian atmosphere with cafes and an artist's colony. Callejón Jesus de Ampere is a cobblestone street next to the Church of San Jose. Patio Muñoz is a neighborhood built in the 19th century, with most of the original buildings intact. Here are held workshops in Veracruz-style painting, dance and music. Park Juarez is a park in central Xalapa with a terrace-like appearance. The southern side of the park looks over the valley below, offering scenic views of the Sierra Madre Oriental Mountains in the distance. Park Juarez was the location of the Monastery of San Francisco. It is located among the 4 oldest neighborhoods of the city. Its central garden features enormous monkey puzzle trees, art galleries, an agra, workshops, an auditorium and a cafe. The Jardin de Esculturas is a museum dedicated to sculpture, exhibiting works by nationally and internationally recognized artists. The Museo Interactivo de Xalapa features a planetarium with an IMAX screen, showing educational documentaries. In the Paseo de los Lagos there used to be an ancient dam. Today it has footpaths surrounded by leafy trees, circling 3 legs and a freshwater spring. The park de los Decayetas is in a natural depression or ravine of the same name in the center of the city. Underneath is a freshwater spring that feeds the aqueducts, artificial pools and canals of the park. The Museo de Antropología de Xalapa houses the largest collection of artifacts from Mexican Gulf Coast cultures such as the Olmec, the Huastec and the Totonac, with more than 25,000 pieces. The most notable pieces in the museum are the giant Olmec heads and the smaller Totonac ones. Some of the pieces in the museum date back to the early pre-classic period from 1300 BC-900 BC. Nearby is the Hacienda del Lencero. Its first owner was Juan Lencero, a soldier of Hernán Cortés. In 1842 it was purchased by Antonio López de Santa Anna for 45,000 pesos. Today, it is a museum which displays furniture and personal belongings dating from the 19th century. It also has a chapel, spacious gardens and a lake surrounding the property, which include a sculpture by Gabriela Mistral, who spent time the while in exile. The Jardín Botánico Clavijero has an important collection of regional plants with sections dedicated to Mexican ornamental flowers, reconstructed mountain environments in Xalapa, ferns and the most extensive variety of pines in Mexico. Parks and Gardens: Jardín Botánico de Xalapa, Park Juárez, Park Los Berries, Park Ecológico Cerro del Macoltepec, Paseo de los Lagos, Park Ecológico El Haya, Park Natura, Jardins de la Universidad Veracruzana, Park Tayarganica, Jardín de las Esculturas, Park Ecológico de los Tecayetas, Park Maria Enriqueta, Park Revolution, Park Bicentenario, Stadium Xalapino. Education. In Xalapa, the basic education is distributed by 195 establishments of preschool, 196 primary schools and 97 secondary schools. In addition, it has 86 institutions which offer baccalaureate, as well as a technical and professional training center. In addition, it has several institutions of further education. Of the most important is the Universidad Veracruzana, which is also the most important in the state of Veracruz and attracts students not only from across Mexico but worldwide. Established in 1944, the current director of the university is Dr. Sara Ladron de Guevara, who graduated of the University of Paris I, Pantheon-Sorbonne. Furthermore, it is associated with the North American Mobility Project, a transnational academic program that links it to Georgia Southern University in the United States and Wilfrid Laurier University in Canada. Universities: Universidad Anáhuac, Universidad Atenés Veracruzana, Universidad de América Latina, Benemérita Escuela Normal Veracruzana Enrique C. Rabesamin, Universidad Comcac, Instituto Culinario de Xalapa, Centro de Estudios Superiores Hispano-Anglo-Francés, Universidad Claus, El Colegio de Veracruz, Universidad Ives, Escuela Libre de Ciencias Políticas y Administración Pública de Haute, Escuela de Diseño de Modas Sor Juana Acutes de la Cruz, Universidad Euro-Hispano-Americana, Universidad Gestalt, Universidad del Golfo de México, Campus Xalapa, Universidad de Hernán Cortés, Instituto de Estudios Superiores Morelos, Universidad Metropolitana Xalapa, Instituto Superior de Música del Estado de Veracruz, Instituto Tecnológico Superior de Xalapa, Tecnológico de Xalapa, Universidad Pacioli Xalapa, Universidad Pedagógica Veracruzana, Universidad Philadelphia, Universidad Veracruzana, Universidad de Xalapa. Sport. Xalapa is home to the Halcona UV Xalapa, a very successful professional basketball team. They play in the LNBP. The team team was created in 2003 and placed third in the LNBP. In 2004 they were champions of the South Division, and got second overall in the LNBP. In 2005 they were champions of the South Division and champions of the LNBP. In 2006 they were champions of the South Division and got second in the LNBP. They also placed second in the Copa Independencia LNBP. In 2007-2008 they were champions of the South Division and champions of the LNBP. In 2008-2009 they were champions of the South Division and champions of the LNBP. They also placed second in the FIBA de las Americas. Xalapa also has many sporting facilities. As of 2005, the city has 25 soccer fields, 95 volleyball fields, 95 basketball courts, 36 baseball fields, and 29 multiple-use fields. Also, the city has 12 gymnasiums, 7 parks, and the notable Heriberto Jara Corona Stadium, inaugurated 1921 to 1925. Sportspeople of note hailing from Xalapa include Armando Fernandez, Eulalia Rios Ailman, and the track and field athlete Luis Hernandez. Every 4 years the Central American Games take place in cities all over Central America and the Caribbean. In 2012 Veracruz was chosen to host these games. In 2014, several events took place in Xalapa. The track cycling was held in the velodrome. The modern pentathlon swimming took place in the university swimming pool. The athletics trials in the Gilberto Jara Corona Stadium, and badminton and table tennis in the Omega complex. All of this brought recognition in the sports world to Xalapa. The Cuban athlete Sandra Mustelia, a member of the table tennis team, decided to flee the hotel where her team was staying 2 days before the opening of the Central American Games in Veracruz. The 28-year-old athlete did not collect her accreditation in Veracruz, a situation for which her teammates located her immediately by phone. When contacted, Mustelia herself informed her team of her defection. No investigation was undertaken by the Mexican authorities regarding this situation. Mustelia was considered to be a strong contender to win medals in table tennis. Industry. The Guna Verde nuclear power plant in nearby Alto Lucero, Veracruz, produces about 4.5% of Mexico's electrical energy. Transportation. The city is connected by the 140 highway with the cities of Veracruz, Puebla and Mexico City. Also, the 140 road provides a link between those cities. The city has a central bus station which is a nodal point for many bus companies operating in the area, including Adu, Adugl, OCC, Autotour and Buses Sierra Texcoco. Several bus companies are based in Xalapa, including Servicio Urbano de Xalapa, Autotransportes Bandrilla, the yellow and green sets of Interbus, Autotransportes Miradores del Mar, and Transportes Rapidos de Veracruz, amongst many others. There is also a bus service which exclusively takes passengers back and forth from Xalapa to Coatepec. These buses operate all over the city, with a cost per person ranging from 6.00 to 8.00 Mexican pesos. Discount is offered to the elderly and to students who normally pay 5.00 Mexican pesos within the urban area. There are over 100 bus routes in the city. The taxis that operate in Xalapa are easily recognizable by the white and red paintwork. The most abundant taxis are of the Nissan Sura model. Typically, taxi drivers do not charge based on taximeter. The city of Xalapa is served by a small airport, El Lencero Airport, located 15 minutes by road from the city. The only commercial airline that serves the city is Aeromar, with non-stop flights to and from Mexico City. Healthcare. The demand for medical services by the population of the municipality is taken care of by publicly and privately owned institutions. The medical units in Xalapa provide external advisory services, general and specialized hospitalization that are equipped with laboratories for clinical medical analyses including X-rays, obstetrical, gynecological and pediatric equipment. The public institutions of the health sector that provide services are Instituto Mexicano del Seguro Social IMSS, Instituto de Seguridad y Servicios Sociales de los Trabajadores del Estado ISSSDE, Centro de Especialidades Médicas SEM, Petróleos Mexicanos PEMEX, Secretaría de la Defensa Nacional SDN, Secretaría de Salud de Veracruz SESVER, Centro de Rehabilitación y Educación Especial de Veracruz CIEVER, Sistema para el Desarrollo Integral de la Familia DIF. In the private sector, the municipality counts on important medical establishments such as Sanatorio San Francisco, Clínica del American Hospital, Clínica de Especialidades Las Palmas, Vital Clínica Hospital, Cruz Roja Mexicana, Centro Médico de Xalapa, Clínica Millennium, Hospital Angeles. Media. Newspaper. Notable newspapers produced or circulated in Xalapa include www.Xalapa, MX, Diario de Xalapa, Diario AZ, Diario El Portal de Xalapa, Diario La Opinión, Periódico Marcha, Periódico Alcalá Político, Periódico Agronómica, Milenio and the Líder. As well, important agency of news online, like Radiova www. Radiova, Common Magazine Revista Era www. Revistera, Comte. Radio. The city is served by numerous radio stations including FM 90.5 Radio de la Universidad Veracruzana, 91.7 Amor, 95.5 Sensation HD, 96.9 Digital, 96.9, 97.7 La Maquina, 98.51 FM, 104.9 El Patron FM, 107.7 Radio Mas, AM, 550 W Radio, 610 Kboonec, 1040 OK Radio, 1130 Yo FM, 1130 AM, 1210 El Patron, 1460 ABC Xalapa Radio, 1550 Radio Universidad Veracruzana. Television channels include XHGV TV Channel 4 RTV, XHAJ TV Channel 5 Televisa Regional, XHAH TV Channel 7 Canal de las Estrellas, XHAI TV Channel 9 Canal 5, XHCPE TV Channel 11 Azteca 7, XHIC TV Channel 13 Azteca 13, XHCLV TV Channel 22 Galavision. Cable services include Megacable, Super Cable, Ultravision, Sky, Dish Network,